श्री गोविंद गोपीनाथ मरण मोहन जू की जाय। नित्यल्लभ विष्णु विष्णुपाद शतर शतस्मर भक्तिवेदांत नारायण गोसाई महाराज श्री गुरुदेव की जय। नित्यल्लभ विष्णु विष्णुपाद शतर शतस्मर भक्तिवेदांत वामन गोसाई महाराज की जय। नित्यल्लभ विष्णु विष्णुपाद Sorry. Nitil Vishram Vishnupad Ashatar Shatashmar Bhaktivedanta Vaman Gosai Maharaj ki jai. Nitil Vishram Vishnupad Ashatar Shatashmar Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Nitil Vishram Vishnupad Ashatar Shatashmar Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Gosai Maharaj ki jai. Nitil Vishram Vishnupad Ashatar Shatashmar Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Gosai Prabhupada ki jai. नित्य भविष्य महाभागवत श्री गोरक्षर स्वामी महाराज की जय। नित्य भविष्य श्री सच्चिदानंद भक्ति विनोद ठाकुर की जय। नित्य भविष्य वैष्णव सार्वभौम श्री जगन्नाथ दास बाबा जी महाराज की जय। श्री रूपानुगौर्य गुरु वर्ग की जय। श्री रूप सनातन भट्ट रघुनाथ श्री जीव गोपाल भट्टदास रघुनाथ शारद गोसाई प्रभु की जय। श्री स्वरूप दामोदर राय रामानंदारी श्री गौर प्रसाद वृंद की जय। नाम अक्षय श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधार शिवासरी गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। श्री क्षेत्र मंडल गौर मंडल ब्रज मंडल मथुर वृंदावन धाम की जय। सर्व अभिष्ट विराट गिरिराज महाराज की जय। श्री राधा कुंड श्याम कुंड की जय। श्री यमुना देवी गंगा देवी की जय। श्री तुलसी महारानी वृंद देवी की जय। श्री भक्ति देवी की जय। श्री पूर्णमासी योगमाया की जय। श्री गोपेश्वर महादेव की जय। श्री हरि नाम संकीर्तन की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। ग्रंथराज श्रीमद्-भागवतम की जय। श्री निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल। Hare Krishna, Shawan Chandra from Bangladesh, Haribo, and Madhavi Didi Tandavapana. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Radhikaya Priyatmane Shri Śrīmad Bhakti Vedanta Narayanitti Namine. Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Śrīmate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminitti Namine. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Namo mahavadanyaya Krishna prema pradayate Krishnaya Krishna chaitanya namne gauratvishe namaha. Gurave Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tadalai Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tarbhaktaya Namo Namaha. Yang pravrjantamanupeta krityam dvaipayano virahaka tara ajuhava putreti tanmayataya taravo bhinedus tang sarva bhuta hridayang munimanatosmi Narayanam namaskritya narang chaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayamudiraye Shrinvatang Swakatha Krishna Punya Shravana Kirtana Hridantasto Yabhadrani Vidhunoti Suritsatam Nashta Prayeshvavadreshu Nityang Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtaki Tavai Vasmi Na Jivami Tvaya Vina Iti Vigyaya Radhe Tvam Nayamang Charanantikam Bhaktya Vihina Aparada Lakshai Kshiptashtakama Ditaranga Madhe Kripa Mai Tvam Sharanam Prapanna Vrinde namaste charanaravindam. Bhaja Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Haribo, Indira Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Okay, so let's read from Bhagavat Prabhaha. Understanding the curse on the Yadu dynasty and the imminent disappearance of Krishna, Vasudeva became anxious. He approached Narad Muni for enlightenment. Narad then instructed him by narrating a conversation between King Nimi and the Navayogendras, the 9 great devotee sons of Lord Rishabhadev, Kavi, Havi, Antariksha, Prabhuddha, Pipalayan, Avirhotra, Drumila, Chamasa, and Karabhajana. Once, during their travels, the Navayogendras had come to see the sacrifice of Nimi. Nimi had asked them 9 glorious questions, each of which was answered by one of the great 9 sages. Nimi asked his first question, "Please tell me, what is the supreme good for the entire humanity?" Shri Kavihe answered, "Fear comes from misidentification with matter, but if one worships the Supreme Lord Narayan and performs bhakti by one's body, mind, and senses, one will become fully fearless in this world." And bhakti gives one realization of the Lord, detachment from the material world, and full satisfaction of the heart. Nimi's second question, "What are the qualities and behavior of a devotee?" Shri Havi answered, "There are 3 types of devotees. 1, the Uttam Adhikari, or very advanced devotee who sees Lord Krishna within everything and sees everything in relation with Krishna. 2, the Madhyam Adhikari, an intermediate devotee who offers love to the Lord, makes friendship with the other devotees, shows mercy to the innocent, and disregards the envious. And 3, the Kanishta Adhikari, or neophyte devotee, who faithfully worships the deity but doesn't behave properly with devotees." Nimi's third question, "Please describe Maya, or the illusory energy of Lord Vishnu that bewilders even great mystics." Shri Antariksha answered, "To facilitate the independent enjoying propensity of wayward souls, the Lord creates samsara, or this material existence, by his illusory external energy Maya. Though constitutionally eternal, all-knowledgeable, and ever blissful, the materially embodied soul engages in gratifying material senses, identifying oneself to be the material body. Thus, the spirit soul gets entangled in Maya, or illusion. Despite experiencing the dualities of material existence like happiness and distress, birth and death and samsara, the soul still continues wandering in it, looking for permanent happiness in eternal existence. This materialistic sojourn is in fact fueled by the illusion soul's materialistic desires and activities for allurements of Maya. Ultimately, the Lord in his form of eternal time withdraws the entire cosmos at the end of the life of Brahma." Nimi asked his fourth question, "How can a foolish materialist become disassociated from Maya?" So he's asking about mukti. Shri Prabhupada answered, "For real happiness, one has to approach an authorized guru who has realized the conclusion of all scriptures and has taken shelter of the Supreme Lord, leaving aside all material considerations. A disciple should accept such a guru as one's life and soul and serve him without duplicity, with full sense control. A disciple has to practice cleanliness, austerity, tolerance, simplicity, non-violence, and equanimity and do everything for the Lord's pleasure. Such a devotee must cultivate friendships with other devotees by discussing the glories of the Lord and their association. Thus, by complete devotion to Lord Narayan, a devotee develops love for him and can easily cross the otherwise insurmountable Maya." Now Nimi asked his fifth question, "Please describe the transcendental position of Narayan." And the sage Pipalayan answered, There are three features of the Absolute Truth. 1. Brahman, that pervades all states. 2. Paramatma, that enters all hearts. And 3. Bhagavan, the Supreme Person. Now, Nimi's sixth question, which we're going to read now. Please describe karma yoga by which one can attain the transcendental platform. So now Avihotra will answer this question. Shirajovacha karma yogam vadatana purusho yena samskrita viduye hashu karmani naishkarmyam vindate param. King Nimi said, O great sages, please speak to us about the process of karma yoga. Purified by this process, a person can quickly free himself from all material activities, even in this life, and thus attain freedom from karma. 1 second, just drinking some water. Commentary by Śrīla Viśvanātha, Sārārtha-darśīni commentary by Śrīla Viśvanātha Ṭhākura. You have said that one destroys the contamination arising from guna and karma. Guna is qualities and karma is activities. I have understood that one becomes free of karma by bhakti and by gyan. I now ask how one can be purified of karma by karma yoga. Evam prashnam rishin purvam apracham piturantike na bruvan brahmana putras tatra karanamuchatam. Once in the past, in the presence of my father, Maharaj Ikshvaku, I placed a similar question before the 4 great sages who were the sons of Lord Brahma. But they did not answer my question. Please explain the reason for this. Commentary. So Maharaj Nimi asked the same question in the presence of his father Ikshvaku to the Kumaras. They did not answer, though they were omniscient. Shri Avirhotra Uvacha Karma Kara Vikarmeti Vedavado Nalokika Vedasya Cheshvaratmatvat Tatra Muhyanti Suraya. Shri Avirhotra said, Karma, akarma, and vikarma are explained in the Vedas, but not by material people. So karma is action, akarma is inaction, and vikarma is forbidden action, right? So this is explained by the Vedas, but not by material people. Because the Vedas arise from the Lord, even the learned are bewildered about karma. Just checking everything's working. Who's sending me a message? Oh yeah, okay. Sorry. Commentary. Karma is actions prescribed by the scriptures. Akarma is action not prescribed by the scriptures. Vikarma is action forbidden by the scriptures. Because these scriptures come from the Lord, people are bewildered. Ahang vai sarva bhutani, sorry, Ahang vai sarva bhutani bhutatma bhuta bhavana shabda brahma param brahma mamobhe shashvati tanu. This is Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam 6:16-51. I am all beings. I am the soul of all beings. I am the cause of all beings. The scripture and impersonal Brahman are my two eternal forms. This is because the statements in these scriptures are not made by humans. Therefore, humans can't explain them. It is easy to understand the meaning or intention of a human speaker, but not for non-human statements. But for non-human statements, one must understand the real meaning only by a traditional succession of statements. It is difficult, it is hard to understand. Even the learned are bewildered about karma, what to speak of others. The Kumaras did not explain it to you because you were immature. Paroksha vadovedoyam balanam anushasanam karma mokshaya karmani vidhatte yagadam yata. The Vedas, speaking indirectly, prescribe karma yoga in order to liberate people from karma, just as a father promises candy in order to get children to drink medicine. Commentary. The meaning of the Vedas is difficult to understand. It uses indirect expression, parokshabad, in which the meaning is made otherwise. So it uses indirect expression in which the meaning is made otherwise by the sages who understood the intention of the Lord in order to hide the meaning. So it explains everything indirectly in order to hide the real meaning. The Lord has said, Veda Brahmatma Vishayas Trikanda Vishaya Ime Parokshavada Paroksham Mamacha Priyam. The Vedas, divided into three divisions, ultimately reveal the living entity as pure spirit soul. The Vedic seers and mantras, however, deal in esoteric terms, and I also am pleased by such confidential descriptions. At Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam 11:21-35. So Bhagavan doesn't want to be explained so directly. He's pleased by confidential descriptions. The indirect expression is explained. Karma is prescribed to liberate the people. But karma is prescribed for going to Swarga, not for attaining liberation from karma. It is like ordering children to take medicine. If you take this medicine, I will give you a sweet. Tempting the child in this way, the father makes the children drink bitter juice and gives them sweets. Otherwise, he cannot make them drink the medicine. However, the goal of drinking medicine is not getting sweets, but to cure disease. Thus, the Vedas prescribe karma yoga, tempting people with material results in order to liberate them from karma. Nachareryastu vedoktam swayam agyo jitendriya vikarmana yadharmena mrityur mrityum upaitisa. If an ignorant person who has not conquered the material senses does not adhere to the Vedic injunctions, certainly he will engage in sinful and irreligious activities and attain repeated birth and death. Commentary. If the goal is freedom from karma, in the beginning, the Vedas should tell people to give up karma. If a person does not perform fruitive action, such as early morning bath or sandhya rites, he will engage in sinful acts such as irregular eating and association with women from the early morning, like an animal, because of being unable to remain without performing actions every day. The Lord has said, Nahi kashchik kshanamapi jatu tishtatta karma krit. The jiva cannot remain without performing action for even a moment. That's from Bhagavad Gita 3:6. Because he is without discrimination by performing sinful acts known as adharma, forbidden in the scriptures, he will obtain death from Yama. In other words, he will attain hell. The Shruti says, Mritva punar mrityum apadyate ardyamana swakarmabhi. A person obtains repeated death with suffering by his actions. Vedoktam eva kurvano nisangorpitamay ishvare naishkarmyam labate siddhim rochanartha palashruti. A person who performs the karmas mentioned in the Vedas becomes detached from the results, offers the results to the Lord, and attains the destruction of all karmas. Only for attracting the people are material results mentioned in the Vedas. Commentary. The most merciful Vedas, luring them with material results, prescribe karmas for persons who are opposed to bhakti, who are like animals, in order to remove the strong desire for enjoyment. In this manner, starting from the morning, they will not have the opportunity for sinful acts because they'll be engaged in prescribed actions like bathing. By not engaging in eating forbidden food or sex life, the person fears sinful acts and becomes attached to his prescribed acts. If such things were not offered as a reward, these persons would not respect the rules, since it would be impossible for them to follow the injunctions. Understanding the meaning of the Vedas and seeing the difficulty in controlling the senses, the intelligent person should perform karma yoga. In performing fruitive actions, the result will be Howdy, well, everybody. Sorry about that. The power went out. I'm using my mobile data now. 1 second, let me just share my screen again. Oh, I missed the chat though. So a bunch of people joined, but I wasn't able to see who's here now. But I'm guessing Arseshwari Mataji, Sudevi Didi, Pradyumna Prabhu, Mantramurti Mataji. I don't know who's here though. Gargarajji. Anyways, Dandavat pranams, whoever is watching. Sorry, I can't. Yeah, missing the comments. Okay, so let's reread this. In order to take, and performing karmas and performing fruitive action, the result will be attachment to the results and not freedom from karma. Without attachment to the results, one should offer all the fruits of one's action to the Lord. But because of hearing the material results, one will become attached to the results. No. In order to produce a taste for fruit of action, the results are praised, like offering candy to a child so he will drink medicine. The Shruti says, Etam vedhanuvachenena brahmana vividishanti brahmacharyena tapasa shraddhaya yagyena shakena cha. Desiring knowledge, following the Vedas, and desiring knowledge, the Brahmins follow the Vedas. Desiring knowledge, following the Vedas, the Brahmanas perform austerities and sacrifices, observing celibacy. That's from the Brihad-Aranyaka Upanishad 4.4.22. Understanding that performance of sacrifices and other karmas have knowledge as their goal, the person then begins to perform nishkama karma. Because of understanding that the results like swarga are for persons with material desires, a person without those desires does not attain those results. Acts arising from Bhakti Mishra Gyan with offering the results of karma to the Supreme Lord produces negation of karma. So if one engages in gyan, in the pursuit of knowledge that's mixed with bhakti, and offers all the results of his fruit of actions to the Supreme Lord, then those actions produce the negation of karma. It negates all his activities. He becomes purified of karma. One second. Haribo Yashoda Didi. Dandavat Pranam. Ya Ashu Hridaya Granthing Nirjihirshu Paratmana Vedino Pachare Devam Tantroktena Chakeshavam. Oh, the power is back now. Let me move it back to the Wi-Fi. Be better connection. 1 second. Haribo, and I'm back now on the Wi-Fi, so the connection will be better. Man, everybody left though. There was a bunch of people here before, now there's only 2. That's strange. I wonder if, anyhow. Okay, so we just read the Sanskrit. Now let's read the translation. One who desires to cut the knot of false ego which binds the spirit soul should worship the Supreme Lord Keshav by the regulations found in literatures such as the Pancharatra and the Vedas. Okay, so one who desires to cut the knot of false ego which binds the spirit soul should worship the Supreme Lord Keshav by the regulations found in the scriptures. Commentary. Karma, fruit of action, was directed at foolish people. Now hear instructions for the wise. This verse encourages people to worship the Lord directly. One should desire to cut the ahankar, which is the knot of the heart, hridaya grantham. So one should desire to cut one's false ego of the soul, which is different from the body, paramatmana. Sorry. One should worship the Lord according to the rules of the agamas, of the scriptures. The word cha indicates the Vedas. 48. Labdvanugraha acharyat tena sandarshita gama mahapurusham abhyarchen murtyabhimatayatmana. Having obtained the mercy of his guru, who reveals to the disciple the injunctions of Vedic scriptures, the devotee should worship the Supreme Lord in the particular personal form of the Lord the devotee finds most attractive. Wow, that's a nice verse. Commentary. The method of worship is described. Having been shown the method of worshiping the deity, one should worship the Lord. Shuchi samukamasina prana samyamanadibi pindam vishodya sanyasya kritarakshorchayed dharim. After cleansing oneself, purifying the body by pranayam, bhuta shuddhi, and other processes, and after touching the body for protection, one should sit in front of the deity and worship the Lord. Bhuta shuddhi is purification, chanting like chanting mantras, like what is it? Naham vipro nacha narapatir napi vaishvana sudro. But let me just find bookmarks this. Okay, I'm just finding. I just wanted to see the translation for this verse, because I don't understand this touching the body for protection part. That's why I want to check what that means. That's 49. Okay. Okay. So this is the BBT translation. After cleansing oneself, purifying the body by pranayam, bhuta shuddhi, and other processes, and marking the body with sacred tilak for protection, one should sit in front of the deity and worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Okay. So that's what it says here. It means putting on tilak. I don't know. Commentary. Prana samyamanadibhi means by pranayam and bhut shuddhi. Pindam means the body. Protecting himself with proper nyasas, that means touching parts of the body while uttering mantras, he should perform worship. Okay, so maybe that's just an interpolation, the putting on tilak, but one should touch different parts of the body, chanting mantras for purification. Archado hridaye chapi yatat labdo pacharakai dravyakshityatmalingani nishpadya prokshachasanam padyadin upakalpyata sanidapya samahita hridadibhi krita nyaso mulamantrena charchayet. The devotee should make suitable properly obtained in what the heck? Okay, the devotee should make suitable properly obtained ingredients, the earth, the mind, and the deity, sprinkle his sitting place with water for purification, and prepare the foot water, argya, achman, and madhuparka. The devotee should then place the deity in his proper place, concentrate his attention, and then perform nyas using mantras. Then he should offer worship with the mula mantra. Commentary. It's a nice teaching how to do archan. Preparing or making suitable properly obtained articles like flowers by removing insects, earth by cleaning, mind by concentration, and the deity by cleaning and rubbing with unguents. He should prepare vessels of padya, argya, achman, and madhuparka. He should perform nyasas using the Mul mantra and the following mantras. Hridyaya namaha, Shirase svaha, Shikhayai svashat, Kavachaya hum, Netrabhyam vaushat, and Astraya fat. There's a footnote here. Footnote says, using these mantras combined with the mantras used for worshipping the particular deity, one touches one's heart, one's head, one's shika, one's arms, and then his eyes. This is called nyas. So as you touch the different parts of the body, so when you touch your heart, you say Hridyaya Namaha. And then when you touch the head, you say Shirase Swaha. When you touch your shika, you say Shikaya Vashat. Kavachaya Hum, I guess that's the one you touch your arm. And Netrabhyam Voshat, you touch your eyes. And Astrai Fat, I don't know what. Yeah. Sangopangam saparshadam tam murtim swamantrata padyargya chamaniyadhyai snanavaso vibhushanai. Kanda malyak shatrag sragbir dhupa dipo paharakai sangam sampuja vidivat stavai stutva namedharim. One should worship the deity along with each of the limbs of his body, his weapons such as the Sudarshan chakra and his associates. One should worship each of these aspects of the Lord by its own mantra and with offerings of water to wash the feet, arghya, water to wash the mouth, water for bathing, fine clothing and ornaments, fragrant oils, jeweled necklaces, unbroken garlands, incense, and lamps. Having thus completed the worship in all its aspects in accordance with the prescribed regulations, one should then honor the deity with prayers and offer obeisances to him by bowing down. Sorry, I have a cough. Commentary. Just check the Haribol, Shasharmaji, and Suryavedidi. Dandavat pranams. Commentary. One should worship the limbs like the heart and upangas like Sudarshan. Malyani means necklaces of gold, pearls, or other jewels. It is said, Nakshatar Acharir Vishnu Naketakya Maheshwaram. One should not worship Vishnu using akshata, unbroken rice. And one should not worship Shiva using ketaki flowers. I don't know what ketaki flowers are. Therefore, akshata is a modifier of saragabhi. The phrase means unbroken flower garlands. Atmanam tanmayam dhyayan murtim sampujayed dhare shesham adhaya shirasa swadham yudvasyak satkritam. The worshipper should identify himself with the Lord and worship that form. Then he should take the remnants of the deity's paraphernalia, such as flower garlands, upon his head, and respectfully establishing the deity back in his abode, he should complete the worship. Commentary. This verse describes ahangrupasana, worshipping oneself as the Lord. Meditating on oneself as the Lord, one should worship that form of the Lord. Shesha means the remnants of articles of worship. Having established the worshipped Lord in his spiritual abode, one completes the worship. I think it means when you place him back on the altar, like where he was situated, after having bathed him and doing all those things. One second. Okay. Evam agnarkato yadav atito hridaye chaya yajatishwaram atmanam achiran muchyate hisa. Thus the worshipper of the Supreme Lord should recognize that the Lord is all-pervading and should worship him through his presence in fire, the sun, water, and other elements, in the heart of the guest one receives in one's home, and also in one's own heart. In this way, the worshipper will very soon achieve liberation. So one should recognize that the Lord is all-pervading and should worship him through the Lord's presence in fire, the sun, water, and other elements, and also in the heart of guests one receives in one's home, and also in one's own heart. In these ways, one should worship the Lord, knowing his presence and all these things. Okay. Commentary. Karma yoga, which includes bhakti and ahangropasana, is better than the previously described karma yoga, since one more quickly attains liberation. However, one should understand that pure bhakti is referred to with the words Bhagavatan Dharman in verses such as the verse in the previous chapter, verse 34, and also in verse 22 of this chapter. Thus ends the commentary on the third chapter of the 11th Canto of the Bhagavatam for the pleasure of the devotees in accordance with the previous acharyas. And now we come to chapter 4, the avatars of the Lord. Shirajovacha Yani yaniha karmani yaryai swachanda janmabhi chakre karoti kartava haristani pruvantuna. King Nimi said, now this is his 8th question, right? Or is it his 7th question? I don't know. Anyways, you should tell us about the activities which the Lord has performed. What the Lord has performed in the past, the activities that the Lord is performing now, and the activities that the Lord will perform in the future by his various births, chosen by his free will in this world. Commentary. In the 4th chapter, Drumila describes Narayan, his avatars, his qualities, and his pastimes. In the last chapter, in verse 48, it was said that the devotee should worship the Supreme Lord in the particular personal form of the Lord that the devotee finds most attractive. What are the various forms of the Lord? This is a question about the avatar forms. It was also said that one should honor the deity with prayers. That was in verse 53, what we just read. Which qualities and activities should be praised? This is a question about the activities of the Lord. Thus he asks this question. Karta means will perform. Shri Drumila Uvacha Yova Anantasya Gunan Anantan Anukramishyan Satubala Buddhi Rajangsi Bhumir Ganayet Katanchit Kalena Naiva Kila Shakti Dhamna. Sorry, something stuck in my throat. Drumila said, any fool wanting to enumerate fully the unlimited qualities of the unlimited Supreme Lord may be able after some time to count the particles of dust on the earth, but that person will never be able to count the qualities of the Lord, who is the abode of all powers. Commentary. Since the Lord's avatars, qualities, and pastimes are beyond counting, I will recount them to the best of my ability. One who desires to count successively the unlimited qualities of the Lord is foolish. Bhutaryada panchabhiratma srishtai puram virajam virachaya tasmin svangshena vishta purusha bidhanam avapanarayana adideva. When the primeval Narayan accepted the form of the Purusha, he created the universe from the 5 elements produced from himself, and he then entered within the universe by his own portion. Commentary. First, he describes the Purusha avatars in 2 verses. When Bhagavan accepts the form of the Purusha as the creator of the Mahatattva, then producing the universe by the elements, he entered into it with his expansion. So first, the universes come out of the pores of the Purusha avatars refers to Karna Dakshay Vishnu, Garbha Dakshay Vishnu, and Kshira Dakshay Vishnu. So first, all the universes emanate from the pores of Karna Dakshay Vishnu, and then Karna Dakshay Vishnu enters into all those universes in the form of Garbha Dakshay Vishnu. Yatkaya Esha Bhuvana, Yatkaya Esha Bhuvana Traya Sannivesho Yasendriyaisthanubritam Ubhayendriyani Jnanam Svata Shwaswanato Balamoja Iha Satvadibi Stiti Layodbhavak Adikarta. Within the body of Mahavishnu reside clusters of millions of universes composed of 3 planetary systems. By his senses, the action and knowledge, by his senses, the action and knowledge senses of the jivas arise. From his expansion as antaryami, the knowledge of the jiva arises. From his prana, he is the final cause of creation, maintenance, and destruction through the three modes of material nature, sattva, raja, and tama. Okay, so now he explained, in the previous verse he explained how the universes, and now he's explaining how Kshiradakshai Vishnu expands and sees as Antaryami, the Lord of the heart. And through that Antaryami, knowledge of the jiva arises. The jiva is able to understand himself and other jivas and all these things. And from the Lord's pran, the physical and sensual strength and action of the jivas arise. He is the final cause of creation, maintenance, and destruction through the three. Okay, so let's read the commentary. The verse describes the qualities and activities of the Purusha. In the body of Mahavishnu, in each of his pores, an assembly of millions and millions of universes with upper, lower, and middle planets reside. By his, the knowledge and action senses of the collective and individual jivas arise. From Antaryami, his expansion, which is Kshiradakshai Vishnu, the knowledge of the jivas arises. From his prana, the bodily strength, the sensual strength, and the activities of the jivas arises. He is the real cause of the activities of creation, maintenance, and destruction through the three modes of material nature, the gunas. Adavabhutshadriti rajasasya sarge Vishnu stito kratupatir dvijadharma setu Rudropyayaya tamasa purushasa adya Ityurbhava stitilaya satatam prajasu. In the beginning, the Purusha appeared as Brahma through Rajagun for creation. Then he appeared as Vishnu, the Lord of sacrifice and protector of Dharma of the Brahmanas, for maintenance. And then he appeared as Shiva through Tamagun for destruction. In this way, creation, maintenance, and destruction of the living entities takes place at all times. So first he explained the Purusha avatars, Karanadaksha, Garbhadaksha, and Kshiradakshai Vishnus. And here he is explaining the Guna avatars, so Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva, who perform the functions of creation, maintenance, and destruction, which are in the modes of Rajagun, Sattvagun, and Tamagun. In this way, creation, maintenance, and destruction of the living entities takes place at all times. Commentary. The Guna avatars are now described. The Purusha appeared as Brahma for the activities of creation by Rajagun, one second, just seeing the comments. No. Dharmasya daksha duhitarya janishta murtyam Narayano nararishi pravara prashanta Naishkarmya lakshanam chachara karma Yodhyapi chastarishi varya nishevitangrihi. Nara Narayan, the best of sages, fully in control of their senses, were born to Dharma in the womb of Murti, the daughter of Daksha. They taught and performed actions with complete detachment, and, worshipped by the best of sages, they remain alive even today. Commentary. The best of sages, known as Nara and Narayan,
were born of Dharma and a daughter of Daksha named Murti. They spoke and performed actions without material desire. Indro vishankya mama dhama jikrikshati kamam nyayunkta saganam sabadaryupakyam katvapsaro ganavasanta sumandavatai Stri prekshane shurbhir avidyar atan mahigya. Indra became fearful, thinking that Nara-Narayan Rishi would seize his heavenly kingdom. Thus, Indra sent Cupid, who, with his associates, went to the Lord's residence in Badarikashram. Cupid, not knowing the power of the Lord, released arrows of glances from beautiful women, along with the charming breezes of spring. Commentary. Cupid, not knowing the Lord's greatness, he went to Badarikashram with apsaras and released the arrows of the women's glances. Vigyaya shakra kritamakramamadhi deva praha prahasya gata vismaya ejamanam mabhar vibho madana maruta deva vadvo grinita no balimashunyamimam kurudvam. The primeval Lord, understanding the offense committed by Indra, and without any pride, spoke laughingly as follows to Cupid and his followers, who were trembling before him. So Narayan Rishi said, "Do not fear, O mighty Cupid, O wind god and wives of the Devatas. Please accept this gift I am offering you, and kindly sanctify my hermitage by your presence." Commentary. Akramam means offense. He was without pride, not thinking, "Oh, I am fully in control of my senses." No, he wasn't thinking like that. Cupid was trembling in fear of being cursed. But he said, "Oh, capable Cupid, oh, women of the Devatas, do not fear. Please accept as our welcome to guests the articles of worship and vegetable meals made of leaves. But we have everything we need. Without your accepting our hospitality, this hermitage is empty." Etam bruvatya bhayade Etam bruvatya bhayade naradeva deva savridanam rashirasa sagrinam tam uchu naitad vibho tvai pare vikrite vichitram swaramadhira nikaranata paraparme. My dear King Nimi, when Narayan thus spoke, eradicating the fear of the Devatas bowed their heads with shame and addressed the Lord as follows to invoke his compassion. They said, "O Lord, nothing is surprising for you, the supreme, unchanging person, at whose lotus feet a multitude of sages who enjoy within themselves and have control of their senses bow down." Commentary. O King, when Narayan, who gives fearlessness, spoke in this way, Cupid and the others spoke. Nothing is surprising for you, the Supreme Person, without change. Swaramaha means Atmaramas, satisfied within itself. Tam sevatam surakrita bahavontaraya Svoko vilanghya paramam vrajatam padangte Nanyasya barhishi balin dadatha svabhagan Datte padam tamavita yadi vignamurdhani. The Devatas place many obstacles on the path of those who worship you, who surpass Swarga and attain Vaikuntha. But those who offer the Devatas their assigned shares in sacrificial performances encounter no such obstacles. Because you are the protector of your devotee is able to step over the head of whatever obstacle the devatas place before him. Commentary. What to speak of you, even your devotees do not care for us, by your mercy. We have created many obstacles for them. Why do the devatas create obstacles? The devotees surpass Swarga and attain Vaikuntha. This means the devatas are envious of the devotees. Others, the performers of karma, do not have obstacles. Why? They have given the proper share of sacrifice to Indra and others, like farmers giving to the king. Will my devotees fall because of your obstacles? The devatas say, no, certainly not, because you are the lord of the devatas and the protector of the devotee. So the devotee puts his foot on the head of the obstacles. So there is no worry that you fear any obstacle. Okay, I think it's time to finish now. Oh no, let's just finish this. Because that would make a better spot to finish. Kshutritrikala guna maruta jaiva shaishnam asmana para jaladim atitirya kechir krodasya yanti vifalasya vashampade gor marjanti dushchara tapascha vritot srijanti. Some men practice severe penances to cross beyond our influence, which is like an immeasurable ocean with hunger, thirst, heat, cold rain brought about by the passing of time, sensuous wind, and the urges of the tongue and sex organs. Nevertheless, such persons fall under the control of useless anger and drown in the water of a cow's hoofprint. Thus they destroy the benefit of their difficult austerities and can neither enjoy nor attain liberation. Commentary. Those who perform austerities but do not worship you have two destinations. They become controlled by us, or they become controlled by anger. Under our control, they pursue enjoyment of their desires. That is stated in this verse. Some persons surpass us who are like a limitless ocean, bestowing hunger, thirst, heat, cold, and rain arising from the qualities of past, present, and future, and as well as the wind of the Malaya hills, which gives pleasure to the skin, and bestowing pleasure of the tongue and genital. But they drown in the water of a cow's hoofprint. Just as a person who is drowning and out of control gives up a treasure he has placed on his head, they destroy their difficult austerities by cursing in anger, and thus that austerity becomes useless for liberation or enjoyment. Okay, so let's just read this. Eti pragnatam tesham striyo Eti pragrinatam tesham striyo tyarbuta darshana darshayam asashrushrusham swarchita kurvatir vibhu. While the devatas were thus praising the Supreme Lord, the all-powerful Lord suddenly manifested before their eyes many women who were astonishingly gorgeous, decorated with fine clothes and ornaments, and all faithfully engaging in the Lord's service. Commentary. Not impressed by their praises, Narayan showed the forms of women produced by his yoga who were serving him. He showed them this to curb their pride in their own beauty. All right. Te devanuchara drishtva striya shir iva rupini gandhena mumuhustas tasam rupo darya hatas shriya. When the followers of the devatas gazed upon the beauty of the women, they became bewildered by their fragrance. The wealth of their splendid beauty was defeated. Okay, so we'll hear what happens tomorrow. The Lord of Lords then smiled slightly and told the representatives of heavens who were bowing down before him, "Please choose one of these women, whomever you find suitable for you. She will become the ornament of the heavenly planets." And then, following the Lord's order, the servants of the Devatas selected Urvashi, the best of the Apsaras, placing her in front of them out of respect, and then they returned to the heavenly planets. The servants of the Devatas, bowing to Indra in the assembly, described the power of Narayan while the residents listened. Indra became astonished by this. Okay, so we'll read more about this tomorrow. We finished at verse 14, right? Okay. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol. Jai Shishi Guru Gauranga Gandharvika Giridhari, Shishi Radha Vinod Bihari Ju ki Jai, Shri Govinda Gopinath Maran Mohan Ju ki Jai, Nityalila Pravishtam Vishnupad Ashata Rashata Shishmar Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj Shri Guru Dev ki Jai, Nityalila Pravishtam Vishnupad Ashata Rashata Shishmar Bhaktivedanta Vaman Goswami Maharaj ki Jai, Nityalila Pravishtam Vishnupad Shri Bhakti Vedanta Swami Maharaj Shri Prabhupada ki Jai, Nityalila Pravishtam Vishnupad Shri Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj ki Jai, Nityalila Pravishtam Vishnupad Shri Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada ki Jai, Nityalila Pravishta Maha-Bhagavat Shri Gorkshodas Babaji Maharaj ki Jai, Nityalila Pravishta Shri Satchidananda Bhakti Vinod Ṭhākura ki Jai, Nityalila Pravishta Vaishnav Sarvabhauma Shri Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj ki Jai, Shri Rupa Anuga Guru Varga ki Jai, Shri Rupa Sanatan Bhatta Raghunath, Shri Jeev Gopal Bhatta Das Raghunath, Shara Goswami Prabhu ki Jai, Shri Sarup Damodar Rai Ramanandari Shri Gaur Parshad Vrinda ki Jai, Namachay Shri Haridas Thakur ki Jai, Prem se Koho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki Jai, Shri Kshetra Mandala Gaura Mandala Vraja Mandala Mathura Vrindavan Dham ki Jai, Sarva Abhishta Pradata Giriraj Maharaj ki Jai, Shri Radha Kunda Shama Kund ki Jai, Shri Yamuna Devi Ganga Devi ki Jai, Shri Tulsi Maharani Vrinda Devi ki Jai, Shri Bhakti Devi ki Jai, Shri Purnamasi Yogamaya ki Jai, Shri Gopeshwar Mahadev ki Jai, Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki Jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki Jai, Samagata Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki Jai, Shri Grantaraj Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam ki Jai, Śrīla Viśvanātha Cakravartī Ṭhākura ki Jai, Sārārtha-darśīni Vritti ki Jai, Shri Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol. Vrindai Tulsi Devai, Priyai Keshavashacha, Krishna Bhakti Paradevi, Sattvatai Namo Namaha, Vancha Kalpatarubhyashta, Kripa Sindhubhyaevacha, Patitanam Pavanebhyo, Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Dandavat pranams everybody. See you all tomorrow. Jai Shri Radhe. Oh, and if you'd like to see what titis are coming up, let me show you my screen. So the next titis coming up is tomorrow's Amavasya. In 6 days is the appearance day of Ramanujacharya and Srila Bhakti Hridaya Bhan Goswami Maharaj. In 10 days from now is Sri Ram Navami. And also the appearance day of Srila Bhakti Vallabha Tirtha Goswami Maharaj. That's in 10 days from now. And 13 days is Vyanjali Mahadvarashi. All right. See you all tomorrow. Jai Shri Radhe. Haribol. Dandavat pranams Ganga Mataji. Haribol.